as useless and irrelevant, but also some
useless and irrelevant. What are you like? Just because like Yelena stars in a Marvel movie, that means white men are useless and irrelevant. Is that the point you're making? Like, fucking woman stars Marvel project. Oh, that makes my PP feel small. Like, listen, if you can't handle that, then you've got some insecurities. And let's be real. Let's be real for a moment. The issue is less to do with them actually being insecure as much as people like Critical Drinker and very vocal people kind of all over just pushing this idea and making them think, oh yeah, I should feel really insecure and awkward just because a woman stars in a Marvel movie. Again, like, this is not an issue with what movie studios are doing. This is an issue with Critical Drinker and Nerdrotic and their ilk acting like this, getting outraged over nothing, over a woman starring in a Marvel movie is actually something worth getting outraged over. It is time. It is time. We're going to wrap up this one. Critical Drinker wins. Just barely. I think I was thinking Critical for most of the poll. But yeah, we'll go ahead and cover probably that new Critical Drinker video. I don't know if that's the one DJ covered or if he covered the Nerdrotic one. I think it's wild that he's already covering this stuff and I didn't even know it existed till a couple minutes ago.
You know, we often talk
Anyways, so yeah, Critical Drinkers. Oh wow! All right, a super cut of Critical Drinker, every Phase 4 movie reviewed. Okay. Anyways, Disney's self-inflicted boy trouble. Have no idea what the fuck that means. Self-inflicted boy trouble? Of course, you know, he has pictures of 3 women there. Because of course. But let's go ahead and dive into this thing. Because
every once in a while, I'll
as I've always said, occasionally Critical Drinker will have like a movie review that I think is mostly fine. He usually has some cringe point, but like it's mostly fine every once in a while. But his speculation videos and his response to news videos are just atrocious. But we'll go ahead and dive into this. Maybe this will be the big exception. Oh, before I dive into this, guys, go ahead and hit like and subscribe. We don't have to start this immediately. Just go ahead and hit like and subscribe whenever you're ready. Whenever you're ready. Have you done it yet? You gotta hit like and subscribe. No, it's okay. Take your time. I'm on it. I'm good. Hit like and subscribe, guys. It's no rush. No rush. Just go ahead. Whenever you're ready. Whenever, you know, it's no rush. I got my tea. I'm good. I got Elam over here relaxing. I'm good. You don't have to hit now. Anytime you're ready. And I can get this video started. Did you do it yet? Did you hit like and subscribe? Well, I know you did, wow, but there's more people in the chat. Like, everybody's got to hit it. Everybody, come on. I mean, no rush. I'm overreacting. No rush. Are you fucking with me? Hit it. Quit fucking with me. Hit it. Like and subscribe. Yes. Okay, let's go ahead and dive into this. I'm sure this will be an amazingly thoughtful video.
Every once in a while, I'll stumble on a news article so brain-meltingly, soul-crushingly stupid that the only socially acceptable response is...
Yeah. That would be any article for me. That's really any article from Bound in Comics, That Park Place, fucking Fandom Pulse, Cosmic Book News, Breitbart. You know, all the sources you guys treat as gospel. Yeah, that's pretty much every article they write is garbage. Something tells me that's not going to be what he's talking about, though.
Such was the case yesterday with this absolute corker from Variety that always relies.
I have such mixed feelings about Variety. Variety is still way better than the sources these guys act as like really good news, but yeah, they obviously also engage in clickbait garbage, as lots of corporate media does. And it's very frustrating.
Reliable bastion of respectable, impartial journalism. Disney's Boy Trouble. Studio seeks original.
Oh fuck! Did Variety actually do an art? God, it wouldn't surprise me. God damn it! Variety's really. They've gone downhill. They used to be one of the entertainment sources I would follow the most, but like Disney's Boy Trouble. Studio seeks original IP to win back Gen Z men amid Marvel Lucasfilm struggles. Let's see.
IP to win back Gen Z men amid Marvel Lucasfilm struggles.
You had my curiosity, but now you have my attention.
Leadership at Walt Disney Studios has been pressing Hollywood creatives in recent months, multiple sources tell Variety, for movies that will bring young men back to the brand in a meaningful way.
Well, maybe if dipshits like Critical Drinkers stop doing this culture war shit, and telling young men that like their rights are being taken away and shit. Maybe if you stop doing that, that would help. I'm just saying.
Are you serious?
Oh, really? Tell me, why would you have to do something like that? I mean, you've spent years telling us that men are irrelevant now, that nobody.
When have they said men are irrelevant now? Do you have a quote? Do you have a citation? Because I've never seen that. What? We just had Fantastic Four movie starring Pedro Pascal. We had a Captain America movie starring Anthony Mackie. But men are irrelevant now? Like the leader of Disney is Bob Iger, an old man. Fucking Kevin Feige leads fucking Marvel, a man. Like, how are men irrelevant? Like, what the fuck messaging are you getting from like Disney that men are irrelevant? Like, the fuck?
Needs or wants those mean stinky boys polluting culture with their toxic mass.
You know, the only people who are talking about men being irrelevant are people like Critical Drinker and people pushing the culture war garbage. They're the ones that keep on talking about men being irrelevant when they act like everybody's pushing down men, and it's like, that's not true. You are just acting like snowflakes anytime somebody besides a man gets the fucking spotlight. It's ridiculous.
Masculinity, that male and pale is stale, that the future.
Male and pale is stale. Who has said that? Critical Drinker. Who? Like, that sounds like a quote from you, honestly. Can I quote you on that, Critical Drinker? Critical Drinker says, male and pale are stale. Because I don't know anybody else. I've not heard anybody else say that before this moment.
Is female. Why do you care about attracting men to your brand all of a sudden?
Captain America Brave New World has grossed 400 million worldwide, which is pretty decent for a post-pandemic movie. Fandom Wire's sketchy. I won't necessarily call them a chud outlet, but they are sketchy as fuck. They definitely border on it if they are not full-fledged chud outlet. But do you honestly think like there was messaging in advertising in the Captain America movie that was anti-male, and that's why the box office wasn't higher? Although, like, it did outperform the first Captain America, I'm pretty sure. Didn't the first Captain America do, like, 350? Let's research this. Okay, so the first Captain America did 370 million worldwide. So is the reason why that box office was less than Brave New World because they were advertising that male and pale and stale. Was that the tagline for Captain America: The First Avenger? And is that why the box office was low? I mean, actually using this number and comparing it to Brave New World's number, are they improving and getting more the white male audience? Or is it factors that have nothing to fucking do with that? Let me think. Cosmic book news. We went over that. That it's such a thing. But I think the other thing to also keep in mind is that Thunderbolts was a really fucking good movie, and so is Fantastic Four. And maybe, just maybe, if you're actually like a fan of like movies and shit, maybe that should be the primary thing you're talking about, rather than shitting on these things just for potentially low box office. Maybe. Oh, let me put this up here.
Fuck.
And therein lies the rub, dear viewer. You might utterly despise men and everything they represent, but when it comes to that...
Okay, like, you might be able to find somebody out there who utterly despises men, sure. But, like, in general, studios are not anti-man. Can you give us any citation, any source of any studio executive saying fuck men or anything remotely fucking similar? Please.
Increasingly uncomfortable meeting with the accountants every few months, well, it turns out that you kind of need them. Especially young men who seem to be quite a powerful demographic these days. Let's see what else this stunning and brave article has to say, shall we? Numerous studies show that Gen Z men in particular are a lonely, gaming-obsessed group who were hampered in their formative years by COVID-19 lockdowns.
Yeah. So lots of people are locked down during COVID-19, and that's where you guys were really able to build your audience and get people thinking there's some sort of fucking culture war shit, because there wasn't a whole lot else to do. So they just watched dipshit videos from guys like you who just push your idiotic fucking agendas.
Oh, come on!
Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there before this journalistic retardation goes any further. Let's be clear about one thing. Young men were not hampered in their formative years by the lockdowns, or the patriarchy, or global warming, or social injustice, or any of the other bullshit excuses you're gonna try to throw in to obfuscate the truth. They were hampered by an entertainment media complex that spent most of the past decade systematically trying to obliterate them from modern culture.
Citation? Citation need, my dude. The fuck are you talking about? Trying to obliterate them from modern culture? Like, you're acting like nothing stars white men anymore. Like, my God. My God, bro. Let's look at the we have Box Office Mojo right fucking here. We're not even going international. Let's go domestic. Yearly box office 2025. The biggest domestic box office movies. Number 1, a Minecraft movie starring Jack Black, a white man. Fucking Lilo and Stitch, okay. Hawaiians in that one. Okay, you got me. Superman, number 3, white man. Jurassic World Rebirth. There is a prominent white guy in that for sure, but you got me again. It's Scarlett Johansson and Mahershala Ali. Although Mahershala Ali is a man. Sinners. Boy, oh boy, Critical Drinker, you really sat on Sinners. Like, that movie was a massive success, and you and your ilk either sat on it or didn't touch it, because it is the most woke motherfucking movie in the world, and it is awesome. I should see about getting a physical copy of that. I don't get physical copies that often, but Sinners was fucking awesome. You guys really sat on that one. I will give you that. Doesn't star a white man either. How to Train Your Dragon absolutely does star a white guy as Hiccup. Fantastic Four First Steps. Okay, yep. Pedro Pascal. You guys like to say he's not white because I mean, I guess he definitely has Hispanic origins, but like, he doesn't really have an accent. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if he's partially white, but yeah, I guess. Brave New World, although he is definitely a man. Brave New World, starring Anthony Mackie. Okay, you got me. He's not white. Oh, look at that. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, number 9. Wait a minute. I thought Tom Cruise, who was definitely a white guy, was like the box office savior. I thought he was like printing money. That's what you guys were talking like during Top Gun Maverick. Yet here he is, and he's actually underperforming all these movies. Isn't that wild? It's almost like there's a more nuanced conversation to be had. Weird, right? Weird. Almost like all the factors that that's a dumb variety article, but at least it's bringing up more nuanced factors, and you're so quick to dismiss it. Thunderbolts, number 10. Yeah, you got me. That didn't star a man at all. That starred Yelena. Fantastic movie. By the way, fucking Superman, Sinners, Fantastic Four, Thunderbolts, fantastic movies. And then after that, the movie you guys were heralding, F1, starring Brad Pitt, underperforming all these movies. So there are movies starring white guys, and in a year where lots of movies are underperforming, the ones starring white guys aren't doing particularly as well as a lot of the other ones. Again, it makes you think maybe there's something else going on. Of course, you fucking chud pea brains can't even think of shit like that, I swear.
They've been berated, insulted, deconstructed, mocked, lectured, misrepresented, gaslit.
That's a good point, Taki. If young men voted for Trump because of Captain Marvel and Kathleen Kennedy, then I pity humanity. Yeah, maybe humanity isn't worth saving at that point. God damn.
To believe in their every natural instinct was wrong and evil, and simultaneously label.
Okay, you're just throwing out a whole bunch of straw men. You're making up a whole bunch of arguments. You're just throwing out a whole bunch of shit, my dude. Like, you're literally like a chimpanzee sitting in the corner throwing your shit around. Like you need citations. Like, what movie studio possibly pushes this agenda that you're talking about? Because I've yet to see it.
As useless and irrelevant, but also
useless and irrelevant. What are you like? Just because like Yelena stars in a Marvel movie, that means white men are useless and irrelevant? Is that the point you're making? Like, fucking woman stars Marvel project. Oh, that makes my PP feel small. Like, listen, if you can't handle that, then you've got some insecurities, and let's be real. Let's be real for a moment. The issue is less to do with them actually being insecure as much as people like Critical Drinker and very vocal people kind of all over just pushing this idea and making them think, oh yeah, I should feel really insecure and awkward just because a woman stars in a Marvel movie. Again, like, this is not an issue with what movie studios are doing. This is an issue with Critical Drinker and Nerdrotic and their ilk acting like this, getting outraged over nothing, over a woman starring in a Marvel movie, is actually something worth getting outraged over.
Somehow the cause of
yes, the Lex Luthor outrage monkeys. That's what Critical Drinker and Nerdrotic are. They're Lex Luthor's minion of outrage monkeys. This shit posting online.
every negative thing
I have not seen their takes on Wednesday.
that ever happens in the world, depending on which explanation is most expedient.
I'm so fucking tired. I thought I just needed a night's sleep, but it's more than that.
And every single time they've dared to defend themselves or push back in this completely one-sided war, they've been dismissed as sexist,
Wow. This is correct. It is a one-sided war. And it's not a one-sided war of white men versus culture. It's a one-sided war of this anti-woke grifter cult versus everyone else. I mean, you can call it MAGA if you want, because let's face it, massive overlap. But yeah, it's like just pushing bullshit into impressionable young men, making them think that they're like there's this culture war going on when there fucking isn't, man.
misogynistic idiots and bullied or attacked into silence. Is it really that much of a surprise that after all of this, after realizing the deck is so hopelessly stacked against them, that not only can they never...
The deck... Okay, so... The deck is... So, I'll be honest. The deck is stacked against white men. However, it is less stacked against white men than it is stacked against pretty much everyone else. If we're talking about white men, white women, black men, white men have a little bit better than all those other groups. But is it stacked against white men? Absolutely, because we're in a fucking late stage capitalist environment. You shouldn't be do you think like shitting on movies that star women is somehow going to help their position in life? It's not. The deck is stacked against everybody. Middle class, lower class, stacked against us by the uber wealthy. It has nothing to do with who stars in what fucking movie. Listen, you might have a point if you actually focus your target instead of doing this dumb culture war easy target bullshit.
Never be allowed to win, but they'll be actively punished for even trying in the first place. They finally decided, fuck it, I'm just not playing anymore.
Well, just not playing anymore? Like, going to see movies is not going to improve your financial situation. The fuck argument is this?
And they hit back with the most powerful weapon left in their arsenal, their wallets. If companies like Disney decide to use their platform to beat young men over the head with the message that everything...
Okay, again, I need citations. When did Disney or any major figure at Disney essentially say fuck white men? Or something even remotely similar. You got, like, if they've done this, certainly you can give me some clips, right? Like, just a woman starring in a movie does not say fuck white men. In fact, if you're offended to have a woman starring in a movie, that's a bit sexist. I'm just saying.
Male is inherently bad, then I guess young men just won't...
When have they said being male is inherently bad? My God. Jesus Christ, this video is ridiculous.
Watch their stuff anymore. It's not exactly rocket science, but holy fuck. This article and others like it will explore every possible explanation except the simplest and most obvious one. And I think we know why. It actually kind of reminds me of all those...
Because the explanation that you're providing is such fucking bullshit. Men, where have you gone? Please come back. So many men have retreated from their intimacy, hiding behind firewalls, filters, and curate personas, dabbling and scrolling. We miss you.
Articles cropping up on feminist websites these days decrying the lack of male attention after those very same sites spent years complaining about men being too forward, too assertive, too interested, too creepy, and got...
You know, I don't... Listen, being too assertive Sounds like being a dick. There's nothing wrong with being assertive. In fact, being assertive can be a good thing if it's justified. You just don't want to be assertive unnecessarily. And creepy, yeah, don't be creepy. Yeah, don't be creepy. What the fuck?
Gosh darn it, why can't they just leave us all alone? Gee, I wonder why they're not interested in dating anymore. It's a total mystery to me too, ladies. The irony is that Disney...
Well, when you got them so caught up in this anti-woke culture war shit, and you end up with dipshits who just think yelling about Captain Marvel and Last Jedi is a great conversation starter. Yeah, dating's gonna be rough for them. Just saying.
He already had access to some of the biggest and most successful male-focused brands in history. And yes, both Star Wars and Marvel were decidedly male brands. That doesn't mean the
yeah, and I would argue that they still are. They're just branching out a bit more, which is good to grow your audience. And let's just go ahead and follow along and use Drinker's argument here. So let's say the white male audience is no longer going to see movies. Wouldn't it make sense to branch out? I'm not saying his argument's good. His argument's dog shit. But if we follow his logic, then wouldn't it actually make sense for Disney to make less stuff for white men? Just throwing that out there. Hypothetical, if we actually follow his logic, which is dog shit.
ladies couldn't enjoy them too, and many did in fact, but if I had to choose a gender most likely to gravitate towards a franchise about space battles, adventure, ships and technology, heroism and epic struggles for the fate of the universe, yeah, it's gonna be men. And that right—
Wait. Why inherently would women not be interested in that, though? That's such a gross generalization. Why would women not be interested in that? You already said that there are women that enjoy that stuff. Why wouldn't they be interested? As we've already established, they are still doing stuff starring men. They're just introducing more properties that also star women. By the way, Thunderbolts is still a really fucking awesome movie. Just saying.
there is perfectly—
And I also think it's weird. So, like, the argument is women can enjoy stuff that stars men, but men can't enjoy stuff that stars women. I mean, you guys rallied against Jennifer Lawrence when she did that quote, but like, you guys are pretty much just fucking proving her right. I'm just saying.
I remember when I was doing Hunger Games, nobody had ever put a woman in the lead of an action movie because it wouldn't work. We were told girls and boys can both identify with a male lead, but boys cannot identify with a female lead.
Oh, absolutely.
And it just makes me so happy every single time I see a movie come out that just blows through every single one of those beliefs and proves that it is just a lie.
Okay, men are allowed to have stuff that they like, and a lot of the time, that stuff is going to be quite different from what women like. The problem is that
well, a lot of that stuff's also cultural too. Women are raised to think that there are certain things made for them. Men are raised to think that there's certain things made for them. But there are plenty of exceptions to the rule, and there's no reason why, like, a superhero movie can't be made more for a woman audience. There's no reason a romantic comedy can't be made more for a male audience. There's nothing inherently wrong with doing either of those things.
only one side is ever expected to compromise and make concessions to accommodate the other, and I'll give—
Whoa, wait a minute. Are you arguing that they've never done again, like, using my example, do you think they've never done romantic comedies intended for men? Because they've done a lot of them. In fact, they've done lots of stuff like that, a lot more stuff like that for men than they've really done for women. Women starring in superhero movies is, I mean, they've done them for a while, but like decent ones haven't been really coming out until what, Wonder Woman, maybe?
you a little hint here, it's not women. Like, could you imagine for 1 second if they did a reboot of Sex and the City? Sorry, wait, another reboot. Only this time half the female characters were gender swapped, the glamour and sophistication of the New York social scene was replaced with muscle cars and guns and girls in bikinis, and every episode had to include some tedious subtext about how difficult modern life is for men to navigate.
Okay, so if they did one of their focus groups or whatever, and looked to see and figured out that like a Sex and the City reboot that focused on men would be successful, they would do that in a fucking heartbeat, bro. In a fucking heartbeat.
Don't think it would go down very well. But there seems to be this weird cultural taboo around the idea of male-focused anything now, like catering specifically to men as a demographic is some moral crime that has to be addressed and corrected.
I mean, you just were showing clips from Mandalorian, which is definitely a show that stars a man. 2 men, actually. It stars Din Djarin and Grogu.
Catering specifically to men as a demographic is some moral crime that has to be addressed and corrected instead of a
and then we got Sydney Sweeney here doing her denim ads. I mean, okay.
smart and logical business decision from a company that should be all about giving the customer what they want. In the case of
Interesting way to stand up there.
those male-oriented franchise that used to be a license to print money because they used to understand their customers,
Oh, so again, you want to be one of these dipshits that just ignores the impact of the pandemic. Sure. Great argument. I always think the best arguments is where you ignore facts and just make up bullshit and fill in the bullshit where you want. I think that those are the best arguments ever. I wonder why Critical Drinker won't debate me. I wonder why.
problem wasn't just the clunky attempts to court a female audience with a sudden influx of pandering, poorly written girl bosses who could magically do
And a picture of Yelena from Thunderbolts when he says poorly written girl bosses. Dude, I think most people would disagree with you because the general consensus I've seen on Thunderbolts is that it's really fucking good. And Yelena's character was one of the fucking strengths, bro.
do anything and were always right about everything. Even women hated that shit because they were more.
Well, DJ would be 100% correct. I've kind of said something like that already. I'm sure I worded it differently, but yeah, no, it's the chuds. It's people like Critical Drinker who are really galvanizing the white male audience to be against this stuff.
Than smart enough to see right through it. No, the bigger problem was the active sabotage, marginalization, destruction, and outright pussification of the male characters to make way for them. I've been over this kind of thing a million times before, so I'm not.
Yes, you have. And it's always been a terrible argument. Always.
Gonna bore you with all the examples like Han, Luke, Indiana Jones, Thor, Kylo Ren, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Nick Fury, and about 100 others I could name. The list of cultural assassinations is frankly mind-boggling.
That was a pretty big list of cultural assassinations?
Kind of thing a million times before, so I'm not gonna bore you with all the examples like Han, Luke.
Han, what? What, are you just calling it cultural assassination just because his character died? You do know, like, he was the mentor character. Like, one of the complaints you can throw at Force Awakens is that it is a very close a remake of A New Hope. And in that, Han Solo is very much playing the Obi-Wan Kenobi type. So, wouldn't Obi-Wan Kenobi dying in 1977 also be anti-white men then? It's a weird argument to throw in there. I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, at no point has Han Solo been pussified or anything. He's been the same dude.
Luke, Indiana Jones.
Luke, like, is it just because the first two just seem like it's maybe because the characters died? Because Luke Skywalker did the most badass thing we've ever seen any Jedi do at the end of Last Skywalker. Say what you will about the movie. Like, no Jedi has done anything that would require that level of power that we've ever seen in any of the movies before. He blew them all out of the water. So I don't see how that counts as pussification unless you're just saying dying. And Indiana Jones didn't die and was very much the main. Like, I'm not gonna say fuck, what was it? Fucking Dial of Destiny. I'm not gonna say Dial of Destiny was like the best movie ever. I enjoyed it overall, but like, it wasn't like the best movie ever. But like, how is he pussified? He's an old man who still kicks ass. Like, the fuck?
Thor, Kylo Ren.
Thor? Thor got pussified? I mean, he's not even fucking dead. What? Like, what are you even talking about here? Can you have a citation?
Ren.
Oh, yeah, and Kylo Ren. So Kylo Ren. I mean, I guess an argument can be made that like J.J. Abrams went more for the fan theory of hooking up Rey and Kylo Ren, and I would have rather Kylo Ren just remain the villain throughout the whole thing. But is that what you're talking about?
Obi-Wan Kenobi, Nick Fury.
Obi-Wan Kenobi? I'm sorry, how is he pussified? I assume you're talking about the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series? Just because one of the antagonists of that TV series was a black woman, that means Obi-Wan Kenobi was pussified? This is really fucking confusing. I don't know what the fuck his argument is against these characters at all. And then the last one he's saying, I think, is Nick Fury. I mean, dude, Secret Invasion, especially that last episode, fucking sucked. But I don't know how it assassinated the character of Nick Fury. You know, and Secret Invasion is probably the one exception. That's like most of the other entries he's saying, I think they're definitely, while most of them aren't perfect, there are definitely lots of positives to them. The last episode of Secret Invasion I thought was just fucking bad. But I don't see how it neuters Nick Fury in any fucking way.
Fury and about 100 others I could name. The list of
your examples are garbage, bro. Every single one was fucking garbage. That's just the ones you can think of off the top of your head. Do better, dude. So far, you're not making your case at all.
Cultural assassinations is frankly mind-boggling at this point. The point, though, is that instead of becoming more accessible to women, these franchises instead became increasingly hostile towards men, especially...
How? Explain that. Okay, so fun fact, Thor Love and Thunder. Really, like, there's so many issues with that movie. One of them was not whether or not Thor was still doing badass stuff. He still did plenty of fucking badass stuff in that movie.
Young and impressionable men who could really use some positive role models to aspire to. Instead,
those young impressionable men have chosen that their role models will be dipshits like Critical Drinker and Nerdrotic, who are teaching them all the wrong lessons in life. And then those young impressionable men learn these lessons, and then they can't figure out why they can't, like, have a proper conversation with a woman and get a girlfriend because they listen to dipshits on YouTube like you.
Found themselves getting lectured, berated, and disrespected by a student.
A lecture. Dude, that's what this fucking video is. That's the thing. Like, this video is trying to say, like, Disney's the problem. Fucking Critical Drinker and his ilk are the fucking problem. Fuck.
Video that seemed to actively hate them. And that's the funny...
Well, that's the thing. Even though he's talking like he's on the side of the white man, he is the one that's pushing this hatred. He's the one that's pushing the idea that there's this hate against white men in our culture when there isn't. So really, this is Critical Drinkers doing more than the studios he's trying to blame for this.
Thing about young men, you see, they can and often do put up with a lot of shit in their daily lives, but the one thing...
Well, yes, but everybody does. Everybody works. Most everybody works a shitty job. Everybody puts up with shit to some degree. That's not just a white man thing. That's pretty much an everybody thing, Critical Drinker. That's not unique.
They won't put up with is disrespect.
Okay, so the whole thesis of this video is that Marvel, it seems like mainly Marvel and Star Wars, are disrespecting white men. Do you want to get to any evidence? Because we're over halfway through.
Especially from a fucking company that wants them to part with their hard-earned money for their privilege. Add all these factors together and you get a conclusion so simple and obvious that I can't believe I'm even having to say it, but here we are. When you decide to treat half your audience as the enemy, that's exactly what you turn them into. You really do get what you fucking deserve, and in this case, Disney deserves to lose half their audience because they gave them absolutely no reason to stick around. But you know what? Rather than signing off with some smarmy little
I mean, I would say something to that, but I've already debunked all this shit in this recording already.
Fuck you, I want to pull something positive out of this situation because it seems like even Disney are beginning to acknowledge how badly they've done wrong. Yeah, the admissions.
Oh, really? Really? Are you going to have a quote? Are you going to have something concrete from Disney? Let's see. I'm pumped, though. I'm pumped if you actually have one solitary actual piece of evidence in your fucking argument. I will be so pumped.
Has only been forced grudgingly out of them by sheer financial necessity, but it's something at least. And never let it be said that the drinker doesn't.
He didn't. He has no. Like in this video where he does this whole theory about how fucking Disney hates white men. He has yet to give us one solitary piece of evidence, other than occasionally a movie doesn't star a white man. Boo fucking who, you goddamn crybaby.
Offer a helping hand to those in need. So if I could offer a few pieces of advice, speaking as someone of the male persuasion here, I'd say they have to come to terms with a few realities about their situation. The first reality is that not everything you make can appeal to everyone, and nor should you try. Movies like
4-quadrant movies is absolutely what they aim for with the blockbusters. They're gonna put like $100 million into a movie. They want that as 4-quadrant as possible. You're not gonna give them, you're not gonna talk them down from that one, Critical Drinker. Yeah,
like Barbie and Top Gun Maverick are proof that when you target a specific audience and give them exactly what they want without trying to dilute it down in the hopes of appealing to an even bigger market, you can and will make an absolute
Okay, so I think it's interesting that you are speaking positively about Barbie, considering how much you panned that movie when it came out. I think it's interesting you're trying to rewrite history a bit here by saying, "Oh, Barbie's actually all right." Wait. Barbie is a super woke movie. I'm just saying. It's also totally a 4-quadrant movie, by the way. As is Top Gun Maverick, just coming at from an origins point of different angles. But yes, these were movies with very broad appeals, which is why they made money. So, Critical Drinker, you're talking about like making movies that don't necessarily appeal to everybody, but your two key examples are movies that were designed to appeal to everybody as much as possible. Sure, they started from different angles. Obviously, Barbie's a movie about toy dolls, and Top Gun Maverick is a legacy sequel from 30 years ago. They're coming at it from different angles, but they were absolutely meant to appeal to everybody.
fortune. The second reality is that any project revolving around adventure, science fiction, action, or technology, like say, I don't know, Star Wars and Marvel, is probably gonna skew male. I don't know.
Sure, which is why most the projects in that still star men. Like, yes. Just because occasionally one of the projects doesn't star a man doesn't mean that is not the overwhelming majority.
What to tell you, man, but men and women tend to be interested in different.
I mean, is this just a fence over, like, Rey? Listen, there are plenty of criticisms to throw at the sequel trilogy, but, like, the idea that, like, having one of your three major trilogies star someone besides a white man is somehow wrong, just seems weird. Honestly, it seems like snowflake crybaby behavior.
Things, and no amount of social conditioning or deconstruction is ever going to change that. And if they're your two biggest franchises that you probably want to resurrect and get profitable again, then you're going to have to accept that your primary demographic.
What citation do you have? These properties are not profitable. I guarantee you, if these properties were regularly going in the red for Disney, that they would be stopping them. I mean, there's no question that some of these have gone in the red, but the fact is they are still some of the biggest money makers in Hollywood. If it was seriously hurting Disney, they would stop. They would. They're a fucking company. Of course they would.
Is men and cater the content accordingly. The third reality is that you need to bring back masculine heroes if you want to get a male audience back.
Masculine heroes. What do you mean by masculine heroes? I mean, you're showing what the fuck? What Maximus? Maximus from Gladiator? Totally good movie, but like that's like an old school like Roman story. I think like if you put Maximus in a Marvel movie, I guess you might be able to get away with that. Maybe if you did like a Hercules movie or something, but in general, he wouldn't fit for most of it. In general, actually, you'd probably end up with something kind of like a more comedic Thor movie where you almost have to have some fun with it, the character, because he wouldn't fit in the modern world unless you said it in the past. So like putting Maximus in like Maximus works in Gladiator for the time period in the setting, but like that wouldn't work for a lot of other movies at all.
And I'm not talking about the safe, feminized, corporate-approved Pedro Pascal brand of mass.
How is Pedro Pascal feminized? Like, did you see Game of Thrones where he like fucking fought the mountain and he beat the mountain? And the only reason, like, at the end of the day he died is because he got fucking overconfident. Like what is Pedro Pascal like feminized just because he's not a bigot? Is that it? So what do you want movie? Is that what you're arguing for? You just want movie heroes to be conservative white males? Because I have bad news for you. In general, your conservatives in your stories are not going to be your heroes. Just saying. Yeah, because Pedro Pascal publicly defended his trans sister. What a jerk, I guess.
Masculinity that's basically just a woman with a mustache, but the act.
You know, the Pedro Pascal hate is pretty much exclusive to the anti-woke chud, and I guess MAGA group. For the most part, if you're not outside that group, you kind of like Pedro Pascal. I think he's a solid actor. I really can't think of a time where I think he's dropped the ball. Sure, he's in a lot of stuff, but every time he pops up, he does a good job.
Show male archetype of masculinity that's been practically.
God damn, I don't remember what the name of this dude from Shaw, but like, well, the dude from Shaw, the dude from Jaws here, that he seems to be highlighting, Quint. But like he was one of three dudes. He wasn't the main dude in Jaws. The main dude was the sheriff who hired Quint to help him get the shark. But like the Jaws is primarily about like, you know, obviously three white guys, but they're all like different. Quint is like the more world weary shark hunter. Richard Dreyfuss over there, I can't think of his name, but he's like the nerdy shark guy who knows all the factoids about shark and has even gone swimming with them, but like he doesn't hunt them. And then you have the sheriff. I can't think of the name of that character either, but he's definitely the most interesting character of the bunch. But he is the dude who feels bad, pretty much for believing the mayor when the mayor said, "Don't worry about sharks." And he said, okay, and he opened up beaches, and then a kid died. I mean, there's lots of nuanced male figures in Jaws. So I don't know why you necessarily want to highlight Quint, who honestly, even in that movie, is portrayed as kind of the guy, like, he knows what he's talking about, but he's also kind of old school and kind of not the easiest to relate to.
Like outlawed in modern media, men who are smart, capable, assertive, confident, complex.
You don't think those men exist in modern, like, we just, okay, let's pull up those top 10. Do any of those movies contain men who are confident? Like Superman. We just had a Superman movie. It's number 3 in the box office. Contains a man who is confident and assertive. Sinners. I don't remember the name of the two brothers, but the brother who usually wore blue. It's either Smoke or Stack. I think it's Smoke. Yeah, he definitely fucking qualifies. Oh, look, there's 2 easy examples right here this year already. I think Captain America: Brave New World, not the greatest of movies, but you could absolutely argue Sam Wilson qualifies. Sure, I'll give you fucking Ethan Hunt. Hell, Thunderbolts has that character that the chuds love. U.S. Agent, John Walker. I thought you guys loved him. He's in Thunderbolts. So it seems like the type of, like, confident male hero character you're talking about still does exist in movies, bro. And those movies are underperforming as well. Maybe we should look a bit more at a more nuanced take at the box office rather than your dipshit take.
And maybe even a bit dangerous, who don't resort to verbal diarrhea or fold like a...
Like, a lot of the clips you're showing are, like, from, like, dramas and crime movies. Like, it's a different type of writing for those type of movies.
House of Cards the moment a woman challenges them on something. Those are the kinds of characters that men have been drawn to for decades, and guess what? They still are. And no amount of guilt tripping or toxic...
It depends on the character, bro. Yes, women are typically attracted to confident men. That is absolutely a fact, as long as they aren't overconfident or dickish about it. Yes, confident men will be attracted to women. But again, like, that's actually an interesting argument that you bring that up. Because if you want a character like that, and your argument is that women would find that attractive, then aren't you marketing towards women at that point? That seems like that kind of goes against what your whole argument's been, right? Like, aren't you saying that movies should market exclusively to white men to the detriment of everyone else? That seems to be what your argument is. But now you're arguing that they should make male characters that women would like? Like, god damn, your fucking speculation videos are so fucking bad, bro.
Masculinity bullshit is ever going to change that. The fourth and final reality is that everyone, men and women both, are fucking sick of girl bosses. They are, without a doubt, one of the most obnoxious products of modern culture.
You know, girl boss just seems like kind of a sexist term at this point. Like, if you want to criticize how characters are written, go ahead and criticize it. But girl boss is just a way to shit on women for what? Being confident? Assertive? Weren't you just saying it's okay if men are confident and assertive, but, like, it's not okay for women to be confident and assertive? I mean, it's kind of the same ball game. A woman who's confident and assertive is seen as attractive as well, as long as they aren't a dick about it.
Sure, they've ruined practically everything they've been crowbarred into, and they have to go. That doesn't mean for 1 second that you can't have intelligent, complex, capable, and well-written female characters.
Well, you know, we did get Yelena earlier this year, but you guys shit on that too, so I don't know what you want.
That push and rival their male counterparts. In fact, you absolutely should. But the days of one-sided contests where women always have to win to put men in their place, or invincible...
Okay, well, I mean, you're using clips from Mulan. That sucks on so many levels, and it has nothing to do with Girl Boss or whatever. It's just a bad fucking movie. Of course, pretty much all Disney live-action remakes fucking suck. I don't know if you fucking noticed.
power fantasies that are either the writer's revenge fan fiction or walking in.
WandaVision was pretty good, actually, and she was the villain in that. Like, I guess, like, I guess you could argue that she's not quite the villain in that. That's kind of her villain origin story, but, like, yeah, she's going insane in that, bro.
Inferiority complexes are well and truly over.
Also, yeah, did you have girl bosses in Rogue Elements, bro? I'm pretty sure you did. That's interesting.
Women don't relate to them, and men, particularly young men that have been force-fed a diet of this crap for most of their lives, are actively repulsed by anything that has them in it. Now, all of this stuff probably seems completely obvious.
You see, Critical Drinker, when you train your audience to just be grossed out anytime they see a woman, that person might have trouble talking to women. Isn't that weird? Is that weird?
Common sense to you, but fuck me, it feels like common sense is in short supply in Hollywood these days. But I think the big takeaway from all of this is that men as a demo.
Judging from this shot that he's saying, the big takeaway from this is Sydney Sweeney's tits. That's obviously the big takeaway. Right?
Graphic are not all that difficult to please. Treat them with a bit of respect, give them the things that they enjoy.
Well, I mean, treat them with respect, and then you saw Tony Stark getting stabbed by Thanos, which I would say is not respectful. From a movie that you guys claim is great, Infinity War. I mean, there's levels of mixed messages on that one.
And you'll be surprised how quickly they come around. On the other hand, ignore and attack them, and well, I think we've seen where that road leads. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
Alright, so Critical Drinker's solution to fix Hollywood and to get more money in the box office wouldn't be to try to help the economy. Because, by the way, the economy is tanking so hard, especially in the past few months. Like, it was tanking under Trump in his first term. Joe Biden, I have so many issues with Joe Biden. But you know what? The economy was stabilizing under him. And now, a few months under Trump, we are just tanking again. And rather than actually, like, try to fix that, which would be a real, tangible benefit for young men, you argue the true way to help young men and to fix the entire box office for Hollywood is just have movies that star conservative white men. Like, really? Really? That's it. That's the solution for all of fucking Hollywood. It's fucking pathetic, bro. I don't know what else to say. Jesus Christ. Yeah. That was an atrociously bad video. God damn. Drinker Solution is obviously movies with more women with big tits like Sydney Sweeney. I guess so. I mean, they can't be in the star, though. It has to star a conservative white man. And then you just gotta have a woman like Sydney Sweeney running around with her tits out, apparently. Doing poses that allow her tits to kind of hang out in your face. That will fix the Hollywood box office situation, for sure. So, such a terrible fucking video.
Because I can live with it. I can live with it.